Hi guys, Scofield from 800 Tech. So I saw this video on the weekend. I wanted to pay attention to it because it demonstrates how easy it is for threat actors to get access to your passwords. Now this video is a short clip on cybersecurity done by CNN, but I want you to realize how easy it was for them to gain access to these accounts. And after that, I'll share with you 3 tips, how you can secure your environment. Just 3 basic things you can do. So let's take in the video and we discuss further.
We have a CNN special report this morning. Most of us try to avoid having our personal information hacked online. But CNN's Donnie O'Sullivan did it on purpose. He asked for it, all to show how hackers can get into online accounts. And Donnie, a brave man, joins me now. Donnie, this was something.
Yeah, John, I mean, if you think you have secure passwords like I did, think again. Have a watch. So it's been 3 years since you last hacked me here in Vegas, Rachel.
Yep.
You have stolen about $2,500 worth of hotel points.
A lot has changed. There's been a pandemic. There's a new president. I am still wearing the same shirt, though. So.
Oh, yeah.
You have put me in a middle seat.
On a 5-hour flight.
Oh, my God.
This time, I mean, as far as I know, you haven't broken into any of my accounts so far, anything like that?
No, I'm about to do that right now.
Okay.
Most people, when they log into their accounts, they reuse their passwords. Or they change it just ever so slightly. And when you do that, if you've been in a breach, which all of us have, that means I can take that password and I can shove that into all the other sites that you log into.
I have been using quite a few of the same passwords over the years. I've gotten a bit better with some accounts.
I guess we'll find out. I'm going to go to a data breach repository site, and I'm going to put in your email address. You can see here that you're involved in 13 breaches just with this email address alone.
Wow.
Online, there are sites that collect all that breached information like email addresses and passwords, and it's likely some of your data is in there too.
We have our first password that I found. Does that look familiar to you, Donnie?
Yeah, that's a password I still use today occasionally.
Okay, so you were using that on LinkedIn.
Many times.
Tip number 1, don't use the same password for different services. Your password for your Gmail should be different to the password for your Instagram. If one of these services gets attacked and your password is leaked, hackers can use it to get into a different site if you're using that same password.
The hackers got a lot of information, some of which included a hash. We also were able to crack one of your passwords. The other half is Evan. He's the other half of Social Proof Security. I want to bring him in here and show you what it looked like when he cracked your password.
Evan emerges from the darkness.
Come on in here, Evan.
I can take all the passwords that we know about you, put it in a word list, and then try 10,000 different little tweaks that you'll probably try. I can add a number at the end. I can add a special character. And we did that for your password list, and we cracked one of your new passwords.
Is this a password that you use now?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Tip number 2, don't use very similar passwords across different websites if you don't want people like Evan being able to figure out your password.
I think I should probably go change my passwords. That's not great.
It's not.
So what are the tips for people not to be like me?
Well, first and foremost, it is on the companies to avoid getting hacked and prevent breaches like this. Many companies do not use MFA internally, that second step, when they're logging in. We need them to use that.
MFA is multi-factor authentication, which is when they text you a code or whatever after you put in your password.
Text you a code, you look at an app, you have a prompt on your phone, that's your second step. So if I get your password, I still can't log into your account because I don't have that code. Don't reuse your passwords. If you reuse your passwords across multiple sites, even for sites that you deem silly or kind of a throwaway site, I can take that password and I can use it against you. So you have to use long, random, and unique passwords for every single site. I recommend storing it in a password manager, which keeps all of your passwords safe and encrypted and can generate good passwords for you.
Okay, so we saw what happened there. We saw how easy it was for them to get those passwords. And if you went further into the video, she indicated that it took 30 seconds for her to crack all of his passwords. Now, there are certain things that we need to understand when we're dealing with corporate security, and there are basic things that we need to do to protect data. Fundamental. I'm going to give you 3 of them right now that a lot of them are overlooked, especially in the SME sector. The enterprise businesses, they have it, but as I indicated last video, they will attack the SMEs to get to the enterprise businesses. So, tip number 1, or first thing that you need to do, as indicated, stronger passwords. Don't reuse passwords. How do you accomplish that? There must be a policy driving that. So you must have network security policies or security policies in your business. You must have policies, and these policies will speak to those 2 first items: password complexity, password length, and password reuse policy. All those things will be part of your security policy, and it goes way beyond that, but those are just some of the things that we want to highlight as it pertains to the video. The security policy will also go into email and access and all those other things, but you must have a company policy. The policy drives your operation, drives behavior, and it instills corrective behavior within your organization. The second thing that she mentioned, multi-factor authentication or MFA. Every customer that we service, we recommend that they utilize MFA. This is something that we feel really strongly about because what we're seeing in the environment, MFA is not a solution, it is just one step in the process. So you have to get multi-factor authentication in, whether you're using Microsoft emails or Microsoft services, or using Google services and Google emails. You must have multi-factor authentication in, and also there are other critical applications that you utilize, especially ones that you utilize remotely. They must have MFA attached to them. So that is something that we need to get on board. Multi-factor authentication is not optional anymore. It is something that has to be written into your security policy that must be in use. And then lastly, endpoint detection and response system. You must have an EDR system. EDR systems help mitigate against those type of risks. If your system, for whatever reason, gets infected, EDR can unplug that system from the network containing that risk, or the EDR system is intelligent enough, because artificial intelligence, it would right away recognize changes happening within your system and either remediate based on a policy that you set up in the EDR system, or quarantine that threat right away. So EDR system is no longer optional. I knew we grew up utilizing antivirus, everybody using antivirus systems. That's obsolete, that's old technology. EDR, endpoint detection response systems, that's where it's at. You must have something with artificial intelligence. They're protecting your systems. And then the last one, I said I'm going to give you 3, but the last one I'm going to give you is you have to educate your users. Your users also play a very important role, just like your firewall. Your users must be abreast of what's going on. Security awareness training must be there, so that they also, combined with these policies and combined with these systems, can help to secure data. If you need assistance, feel free to contact us. The numbers right below, or email us, and we'll be happy to come and have a conversation with you and help implement some of these things.